Welcome to the Tape PhD course. If you've bought this course, which you obviously have, congratulations, you're going to change your life for the better. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm fucking certified. I know I don't look like a pimp right now, I look like a tramp, but I just finished training. I don't owe you motherfuckers nice clothes, so whatever. I actually went out of my way and bought a whiteboard. That's some genuine effort. But the only pen I have is green, which is going to be difficult for you to see. So we're not going to use the whiteboard. We're going to put graphics in the video instead, which is more effort. Should have charged double for this shit. Anyway, so I'm going to teach you from the ground up how to get it done. I was thinking if I was going to do like modular videos, like little modules on each thing of how to do it, or just do one long video. It's actually quite difficult. It's almost like, imagine you're the best baker in the world and someone comes to you and says, teach me how to bake. Well, the first thing you're going to do is go, okay, well, bake what? Bake a cake, bake bread in an oven or on a fire, or how long do I have? What are the ingredients? Like the first thing the master baker is going to do, master baker, is going to ask you loads of questions, because baking is such an all-encompassing art. It's very difficult to just explain everything. And pimping is very much the same. It's very difficult for me to just explain absolutely everything, the whole 360 degrees, but I'm going to try anyway. And for that reason, I'm not going to do modules. I'm not going to break it down to little videos. What I'm just going to do is I'm just going to fucking lay down some knowledge for the next long time. And your ass needs to get a pen and a fucking paper and pay attention. If you have to watch this video over and over and over again, fine. If you have to watch this video and understand that there's certain parts of it that you need to tweak to fit your particular style, fine. I'm not saying that this is going to be absolutely and utterly rigid, but it is going to be a fail-proof system. That's what it's absolutely going to be, because there are some rules which are ironclad, can't be broken, and some rules there's exceptions to. So there's going to be a whole bunch of talking here. So if you haven't gone piss, go piss. Get some fucking popcorn. Buckle up. This is lesson 1 in your Pimp and Hose degree. All right, let's start with the basics. The basics are as follows. And like I said, when you're watching this video, there's going to be some rules which I tell you which are ironclad and can't be broken, and sometimes there's exceptions to the rules. I've read a lot of the manosphere bullshit, and sometimes they say, if you fuck her on the first date, she ain't worth shit. That's not true. I've had girls who I fucked on the first date who weren't worth shit, and I've had girls who I fucked on the first date I was with for 2 or 3 years, and they were fiercely loyal to me, and they were fantastic girlfriends. So that is a rule which has exceptions. But there are some rules with no exceptions. Like, oh, my girl has male friends, they're just her friend. No, not allowed. That is a rule that can never, ever, that cannot be broken. If you got your chick on lock and she's in love with you, she ain't interested in talking to no other fucking dude about Game of Thrones or some dumb shit. She's interested in talking to you and you only. So, like I said, I'm going to do a lot of talking here, and what I want you to do is pay a lot of attention, and especially pause this video. If I'm giving you examples, I'm talking about things, try and apply them to your own life, or where you've tried things in your own life or your own current situation, and see how they fit. I'm very open for questions, comments. If you have any particular questions or comments you want to come at me with, drop me an email. There's no problem at all. So we're going to start at the very, very beginning, which is the overview of the sexual marketplace that we currently live in. We currently live in a sexual marketplace which is extremely difficult for men. And it is getting harder and harder. It is not getting easier. It's getting harder and harder. Because women, biologically, are programmed to share an alpha male. Now I say this, and this is what's actually interesting to me, a lot of the manosphere stuff, the 21 convention stuff, all this shit is talking about how women are wrong and women need to be fixed. I don't necessarily think that's the case. If you can position yourself in the correct place, you'll have more than enough women. So by the way the sexual marketplace works is, if you're in the wrong place, you don't have enough women, but if you're in the right place, you have too many women. I have more women than I can see. By the time I've fucked all the girls I need to fuck to keep my normal rotation going, I don't have time to go on a date. Every night is planned. Every night I'm looking at my phone and I've got 4 choices, and I'm like, where am I going to stay? And that's not just because I've got money, because it's been like this before I had money. I've had money for 6, 7 years. It was exactly the same before I had money. I've always had too many women, because I understand where to position myself. So the first thing I want you guys to do is, a lot of this red pill stuff is anti-women, the way that women are hyper gamers, and they don't like the way the world works, and women only want this, and that, and it's really negative. You are not going to be successful with girls if you hate girls. You need to get that shit out of your head, and you've got to change your mindset where you don't like how women think. I don't like how women think. Women do this, women do that. Women think a particular way, and that's fine. If you know the rules to the game, if you can bend the rules, or you can put yourself in the right position so that the rules of the game favor you, then you should be very happy women think a particular way. So a lot, like I said, a lot of this red pill stuff is trying to change the way women think, trying to say that women think a certain way and this is wrong, and like there's a new convention coming out, 22 convention, Make Women Great Again, about how to make women great. If women were completely fair like men and every woman just got with one guy, then where's the fun in being a G? Where's the fun in having all these chicks? Well, how come I have so many? I only have so many because there's a whole bunch of dudes out there with none. That's the way the world works. So I'm going to teach you to be in my position. So you need to get rid of any hate or resentment you have towards women. Get rid of that shit. That's the first thing you got to do. When you understand women better, you'll understand why they do what they do, and you'll understand how to position yourself so it suits you. So the sexual marketplace is very difficult for men. And the reason it's difficult for men is because men have one weapon in the battle for sex. And that is attention. All you can give a female is attention. Right. I'm going to take my jacket off quickly. Before I take my jacket off, let me just remind you this watch costs 30 grand. If that upsets you, get your money up. So all you have is your attention. So the basics of the sexual marketplace are as follows. You give your attention to a woman to get sex. And the woman gives you her sex to keep getting your attention. Attention into sex, and sex into attention. That's how it works. Men give their attention to get sex. Women give sex to get attention. That's how it should work. But the reason the sexual marketplace is so fucked is because there's too many women out there who get attention without giving sex. So previously, not too long ago, men didn't give a fuck about a girl they weren't banging. They didn't care. Why would you care about a girl you don't fuck? She ain't nothing to you. You don't see her. But now with Instagram, you got girls with millions of followers. Millions of men are giving her validation. Millions of men are liking her comments and liking her posts and commenting on her shit and telling her she's beautiful. And she fucks 0 of them. So that skewed up the whole thing. Now it's all fucked. Because you got chicks getting unlimited male attention without having to give their sex out. And that's why the sexual marketplace is getting difficult. Because it's the whole fucking game, the fair equation has been completely skewed. Male attention is suffering from hyperinflation. Whereas male attention isn't worth shit anymore. 50, 60 years ago, if you were talking to a girl or you took her on a date or you bought her flowers, it meant something. Buy a bitch flowers now, she doesn't give a fuck. What the fuck does she care? She gets unlimited inboxes in her fucking Instagram. She can get flowers anytime she wants. She doesn't fucking care. None of that means anything. So that's the sexual marketplace. So the number one game as a man is you need to attach some value to your attention. Your attention has to become more valuable. Because you have two choices. I'm assuming you motherfuckers are smart. I don't know all of you who've bought this. I know some of you have bought this. Some of you might be dumb. But if something hyperinflates, the choices are as follows. Imagine a currency. If a currency hyperinflates, you either do something to restore the value of that currency, or you give a lot more currency to get what you want. So my question to you is, if male attention's in hyperinflation, do you want to give loads more attention to try and get laid? Or do you want to attach a value to your attention so that you don't have to give very much at all, but you get what you want? The problem with giving loads more is you might not get laid. And then guess where you end up? The fucking friend zone.
It's complicated.
I'm single, guys. I'm single.
Holy shit.
What?
Oh, no. We're really good friends.
Took her here, I drove her there, I took her to the movies. Every time she called me, I was there. Every time she felt sad, I was there. And this bitch is sitting there going, well, he's there anytime I want him and I don't have to fuck him, so why would I fuck him? And she ends up fucking some guy who doesn't give a shit about her, and you're sitting there going, why would she fuck the guy who clearly doesn't like her? Because the guy who doesn't like her, his attention has a value because she can't get it very easily. Just like a currency, the only attention, anything only has a value through scarcity. So when you want to attach a value to your attention, you have to limit the attention you give a female. You cannot be running through the earth, throwing attention everywhere for fucking free, and expect a girl to give a shit that she's getting any. If she knows you give attention to every hoe that walks, she doesn't give a fuck about your attention. That's the reality. This is why girls like bad boys. It's not because bad boys are assholes. Well, partially it's because bad boys are assholes, but it's not actually the fact they're assholes. It's the fact that they'll tell the girl to fuck off. Or they'll say to a girl, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Or they know that getting attention from this particular man isn't free and easy. This guy will get rid of, he's giving me attention and he got rid of that other girl, or he ignores that girl, but he talks to me. That is value. So the number one thing you want to do in the current sexual marketplace is attach value to your attention. So, how do you do that? Now, this is where we're going to get into internal factors, factors you can do as a person, and external factors. There are a lot of factors you can't control. I don't want to fucking, what's this shitty expression? Teach grandmother to suck eggs or some dumb shit. I don't want to state the obvious. But obviously, if you have a profile as a high value male, your attention is instinctively more valuable. So we're talking about attaching value to your attention, and we're going to do that by limiting your attention. But you can also attach value to your attention with the obvious things you already know. Go to the gym, get in shape, dress well, have money, all these basic things. But I'm not here to tell you that because that doesn't help you. You bought this course on how to get girls. I can't sit here and go get a Lambo because that ain't a fucking answer. That's stupid. But I'm saying if you do those things, it will absolutely help you because it makes you a higher value person. It means, and a girl is more interested in you because you're saying, well, a lot of the time it just sparks their curiosity. My experience with money is that girls don't care about money, but they care about how you've made it. Girls don't care about money, but they're like, where does he get this money from? They're curious about it. So it's some intrigue there. And with intrigue, your attention once again increases. So those are all the things you already know. If you don't know to go to the gym, get some money, well then you're an idiot. You know all these things, so we're not going to talk about them. We're going to talk about the things you can do without increasing your bank balance. So, increasing the value of your attention. So as follows. I don't know your current situation, but I guarantee there's a bunch of girls in your phone who you're talking to or attempting to talk to who you've never fucked and you never stand a chance of fucking. Why are you talking to her? Why are you giving your attention away for free? Why are you devaluing yourself? And that's a mistake. So for this reason, anytime we're giving our attention to a woman, we need to aim for progression. Progression towards the end goal. If you find a woman sexually attractive, I know the fucking modern world tells you that's a bad thing, but it's not a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with finding a woman attractive, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to sleep with a woman. There's nothing wrong with that. That is your end goal. And every move you make, every bit of attention you give, has to be progressing towards that goal. You cannot just flounder in a sea of giving out your attention. You end up in the fucking friend zone. So, like I said, just like with the bakery example, there's a million things I need to teach you guys. I need to teach you guys approaching bitches on the street. I need to teach you guys how to do things in the club. And teaching these things without experience is extremely difficult. So to keep this easy, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some ironclad steps that you can do in the next 2 weeks so you can fuck a bitch, brand new girl you never fucked, so you know that I know what I'm talking about. Because a lot of this stuff I need to show you in person. There's a lot of other modules, etc. But we're going to keep this very simple. We live in the world of the internet. So, first thing you can do to start getting laid today is your number one tool to get laid is Instagram. Instagram is the new dating fucking app. Fuck Tinder. I mean, Tinder's okay. The problem with Tinder is, if you're going to do Tinder enough, you'll swipe, you'll get some girls. But every girl on Tinder has fucked someone else. And Tinder's been around for 4 years now. They fucked dudes from Tinder before. You know, only real ratchet assholes are left on there, really. Maybe if they're newly single or something. You might find something good on Tinder. I've done it. I found good girls on Tinder. But in general, what you want is Instagram. The reason Instagram's so fantastic is because women sit on Instagram all fucking day. The only problem with Instagram is that they get unlimited inboxes from guys saying bullshit. So how do you make your inbox more appealing than anyone else's inbox? So we're going to talk about some inbox game, if that's the thing. First thing you need to do is sort out your Instagram page. You can see on my Instagram, I have my particular angle, and that is money, obviously. I play the fighter thing. And also, what I try and do with every single post is a degree of intrigue. Intrigue is super important in the sexual marketplace because intrigue, it attaches a value to your attention because you instantly become interesting. So imagine you work in Starbucks. You work at Starbucks. If a girl says, what do? You can say, I work at Starbucks. Or you can say, Well, I was high level at Starbucks. I was high level management, and now they put me in as a mystery worker. I'm making this shit up off the top of my fucking head. I'm telling you what I do if I worked at Starbucks. And the girl would be like, what do you mean? It's like, oh, well, I was high level management, and then what they do is they send me around to different Starbucks stores to just work as a normal person, but what I have to do is report back to the high level management about how the store is being run, and if the manager's competent, and all of a sudden you sound like a fucking spy. You're now James Bond of Starbucks. You were a barista loser, now you're James Bond. That's how you got to put a spin on things. Really, I've never heard of that. So of course, if you heard of it, then it wouldn't work. No one knows about it. So I moved from store to store. Now all of a sudden you're an interesting person. Bam. You've got to put a spin on things. Then you're sitting there thinking, well, if I say that, maybe she's going to expect me to have money. No, she doesn't. Oh, so you get paid a lot. Oh yeah, I get paid good money, but I'm looking after my cousin. She had a car crash. Or my cousin, I'm putting my cousin through college. Make up some bullshit. Look, we live in a world where you cannot play fair anymore. When you walk down the streets nowadays and someone wants to mug you, it can't be, all right, let's have a fair duel, one-on-one. If you win, you get... There's no more fair. People are going to run up from behind and stab you. You can't play fair anymore with violence or in the sexual marketplace. You can't play fair. If you work in Starbucks and you are broke, you now are high-level management on a secret Starbucks mission to find the worst Starbucks employees as a spy, and the reason you have no money is because you're putting your sick cousin through college. That is how you have to play the game. All of a sudden, you're an interesting person. From a barista to James Bond, the philanthropist. That's how you got to be doing things. So whatever your job is now, it may be a little bit interesting, but I guarantee you can put a spin on it. And one of the most important things you can do is never give away all the information. Because there is nothing as interesting that you can say as what she can think of herself. So girls ask me all the time what I do. I do loads of different things. I don't tell them. I say, oh yeah, I'm just working. Why? Working doing what? So I'm just making money. That's the answer. They sit there and think, is he an assassin? Is he a spy? Is he this? How come he has this car? Let them go through all the crazy ideas in their head, because they'll settle on the one they like the most. No matter what I make up or what lie I tell, it's not going to be as interesting as what they can imagine it could be. So you need to have some intrigue there. Don't be afraid to put a spin on your shit. That's the first thing. And your Instagram page needs to reflect that. My Instagram page very clearly makes me look like Russian mob, millionaire, pure gangster. Is that true? Yeah. But still, it's done in a very particular way so that when girls look at my page, they go, who the fuck is this dude? Like, where's he getting this? Why is he there? I'm tagged in all these weird locations. What's he doing? And also, there's a very fine line here. You got to be careful. But I have girls on my Instagram page. Because I'm telling you this, no girl wants to fuck the guy that doesn't get girls. They all want to fuck the guy that other girls want to fuck. Because women are purely fucking evil when it comes to taking a guy off other dudes. A guy off other chicks. They love that shit. So you don't want to do too much. You don't want to try and be like a budget Dan Bilzerian. But you do want to make it clear that you roll with chicks. Especially hot ones. Even if she's your friend or some shit. Put a picture on there. Ain't gonna hurt you. Who's she? Oh, someone I know. Once again, intrigue. Your girlfriend? I didn't say she was my girlfriend. I said someone I know. Oh, okay. Lay it down. Let them know. Like I said, this is a lot of talking, so you better have a pen and paper. Make some fucking notes. Find a girl. Take a picture. Get that shit done. Your Instagram page has to be interesting. You have maybe half a second. Send an inbox to a girl. She's going to look at your page. You have maybe half a second to impress her. For me, it's easy now about cars and shit. But you know what? Girls don't even care about cars, bro. Girls don't give a fuck. They don't care about Lambos and shit. The number of times I've had girls go, Lambo's uncomfortable, come get me in the BMW. They don't care. I mean, yeah, it's good for an Instagram page, but in general, they don't care. So you need to put together an Instagram which is appealing to females. You're a full-grown fucking man. If you're a full-grown man, you don't care about likes, and you don't care about keeping your Instagram updated. So if you only have your 5 or 6 best pictures, and that's all you have there, do that. Don't keep updating every day with new pictures of you and your friend drunk. Because no one gives a fuck, bro. No one cares, and it's making you look like a dick, and it's damaging your fucking potential. Construct an Instagram front page, because you ain't going to scroll down. The first 5 or 6 pictures that make a girl be interested in you, one way or another. I don't care if you have to get a professional photographer. I don't care if you have to rent a car. I don't care if you have to fuck. I don't care what lie you have to tell. I don't give a fuck. You should know. Look at my Instagram. Put something together that is interesting. I've used the money angle. If you haven't got the money angle, you know what chicks love? Travel. Do the travel angle. Fucking right now, book something, go on holiday, spend 2 days taking loads of photos next to rocks and oceans and bullshit, and do the travel angle. That's cheap. And then, bang, you're a traveling guy. Well, girls like travel. It's interesting to them because they all want to fucking travel for free because they're all scams. So, put an Instagram page together that's interesting, and don't update it all the time with shitty photos. Do not update your Instagram very often if you haven't got amazing things to put on there. That is your fucking shop window. That's your portal to the chicks. If you're going to inbox a chick, that's the first thing you're going to look at. That's all you've got. Do not give a shit about keeping people updated with your life because no one fucking cares about your shit life anyway. This is the absolute hard reality. Another thing you don't want to do, if you look on my Instagram, there's a picture of me with 4 guys sitting with leather jackets before we did some work in London. We're clearly Russian mob, so that's allowed. If you're clearly mafia or you're looking like a G, you're allowed. But in general, groups of pictures of men are a no. I'm telling you some solid no-nos for Instagram. Because living in the animal kingdom, it's always little shitty weak animals that are in huge groups. Prey, like fucking buffalo or whatever, even though they're strong, the prey, the things that get hunted are always in big groups. The hunters are like 1 or 2. Hunters are like lone soldiers. You don't see fucking 20 hunters together. If you think you and all your 20 friends are cool with your beers, 20 guys, a picture, no one gives a fuck. And if a girl looks at it, she's not going to know which one is you, and instinctively, she's going to think, beta, loser. You on your own, or you and someone else. 2 guys, 3 guys max, bang, I'm a G. You don't need to be having fucking big groups of things. Next thing, do not put any pictures of you with your mouth open. That soy face shit is taking over the world. You know when guys are uncomfortable in their skin, so they take a picture and they go like, or some shit. That's been scientifically proven in primates, monkeys. They open their mouth as a sign of submission. Primates, which are our closest cousin, when the alpha male monkey turns up, he's got pissed off face. And the other monkeys, when they see him, they kind of go and show their teeth as saying like, it's a submission thing, like don't hurt me. And nowadays, if you look at fucking a Democrat or a liberal or someone who doesn't support Trump, all of their pictures, they got their fucking mouth open. The reason they do that is instinctually, it's a submissive sign. Like, please, world, don't hurt me. And women detect that shit. It's not attractive in any way. Get rid of that shit. Look about your business. You're a full-grown fucking man. You haven't got to look pissed off. You got to look about your business. Look like you know what you're doing. Like you know where you're going. Like you're doing something worthwhile. Nobody is doing anything worthwhile going like this. It's bullshit. Girls don't want to see you fucking happy, having a great time laughing. You're not 5 years old. You're a fucking full-grown man. Looking for a man who's going to take care of her. Looking for a fucking serious G. So put that shit together. Build an Instagram page. Even if you can only get 5 good photos, that's enough. Never update it again. Because girls don't check when the photo was posted. You think a girl sees a good picture and goes, oh, that was posted 6 months ago. They don't give a fuck. They look on your fucking page and go, oh, okay, I'll reply to him. Done. Get a couple good pictures. That's that. Next stage. What do you inbox the woman that makes you different from everyone else? Now, everyone watching this, I'm sure you've already inboxed loads of girls on Instagram. I don't know what you particularly say. I'll tell you what I would say, and I'll give you screenshot examples. So, a lot of men say, hey, how are you? Hey, how are you? Bitch, she doesn't even know who the fuck you are. Why would she give a shit about telling you how she is? She knows you don't care. You don't care. And she gets that 30 times a day. So she doesn't care. That's a bad idea. You are beautiful isn't bad, but it leaves you open for loads of shit testing. It leaves you open for I know or LOL or some kind of sarcastic shit that they reply to you that makes you look like a dick. And you got to instantly fight to prove your manhood. If I message you, go, you're beautiful, and so go, I've had like before, LOL, as in laughing. And they're like, what's funny? And then they can ignore you. Then you look like a dickhead. You're beautiful, LOL. What's funny? And then you get blanked. You got to be careful how you set this shit up, because women are looking to shit test you as soon as they can. Women are looking to turn it on you and give you some shit to see how you react to them straight away. So in my experience, what I find raises intrigue, it inspires them to respond, and also makes it extremely difficult for them to shit test me is I ask where they are. So what I do, and you're going to see a screenshot in a second, I live in Bucharest, Romania. It doesn't matter if I'm in London, Bucharest, Moscow, anywhere I am. I just say Bucharest question mark, or Moscow question mark, or London question mark. Sometimes, because like I said, intrigue, I'll put a completely pointless emoji on the end. some cherries or an orange or a strawberry? Because it doesn't mean anything. So the girl's sitting there, she's scrolling through, how are you, you're sexy, how are you, you're sexy, how are you, sexy. Bucharest, strawberry? She's like, fuck. Yeah, I am in Bucharest. Then they start to think, why does he want to know where I am? Like, does he want to fuck me? Has he seen me? Does he have something of interest for me? And they usually reply, yeah, why? Or yeah. Because they're interested. They're like, well, what the fuck, what does he want to know for? So that's how you get the instant response. In my experience, I've done a lot, like I said, about PhD. You bought this course for a fucking reason. I know what to do. In my experience, it's the best message to send. Of course, not every girl's going to reply. But the ones who do, you've already, from the first question, raised some kind of intrigue. Because they want to know why you want to talk to them. They're a bit like, that's interesting. So we're going to play through an example here of a girl. I'm going to look at it on my phone. We're going to put the graphics up in the video because we're fucking professionals, me and my boy James. So here's a very perfect example. Chick, a 9, hot. Bucharest, hey, yes. Then my reply, why do I never see you? Where are you hiding? That's my reply. Because once again, it's some intrigue. It's an easy, women like easy conversation. What women don't want to do for a guy they don't know and have never met is think. If a woman has to sit there and go, what do I reply? They ain't going to reply. If a woman looks at her phone and she hasn't got something instantly she wants to say, she ain't going to say anything. Because she has so many messages a day as a woman that if you don't get inspired to instantly type something back, you're not going to type anything. So if you just say something boring, they'll look at it and leave you on red. You've got to write something that makes them instantly reply. So I said, why do I never see you? Where are you hiding? And the reason I say that in a very particular way is because it's extremely easy for them, 99% of them say, I'm not hiding. That's what nearly every one of them says. I'm not hiding. All of them. What did this bitch say? Let me check. I'm not hiding. Oh, no, this bitch said she was hiding. So there we go. Make myself look stupid. I'm hiding in work right now. Don't have much free time. Also notice I put cherries on there when I said, why? Where are you hiding? Why did I put cherries? Who the fuck knows? Your guess is as good as mine, friend. It just makes my messages different because no one gets messages with cherries. If you motherfuckers start putting cherries in your messages, I'm going to come over and beat the fuck out of you. It's my thing. Choose a different fruit. Anyway, they don't get messages with cherries. So it's like, the fuck cherries? When girls say to me, why do you put cherries on the messages? I always say, who doesn't like cherries? And they're like, LOL, true. So that's how you get out the cherry thing. So if you choose strawberries and a bitch gets fresh over the strawberries, you can say, well, who doesn't like strawberries? Fucking what the fuck? Strawberries are good. Calm yourself down. So that's what that is. I'm hiding in work right now. Don't have much time. I said, what work do you do? Break hearts. Look how fucking smooth I am. Look how smooth I am. So what I'm doing there, I need to sharpen the phone, is giving her a compliment. Because there ain't no ugly bitches out there who are breaking hearts. Only hot girls break hearts. So what I'm basically saying is you're hot. But I'm saying it in a smooth operator kind of way because I'm a fucking G. So what do you do for work? Break hearts. I say that because it's a compliment. She replies, I do that in my free time. Smiley face. And I put, for fun. And then I would say, good thing I'm strong, I'm not afraid. So once again, I'm establishing some dominance there. I've given her a compliment, but I'm also letting her know I'm the fucking G. Like I said, everyone has to have their own unique style. I'm not saying to say exactly what I say. What I'm trying to explain to you is why I do it. I put the cherries because it makes my messages unique. I ask where they are. That's the one thing I would recommend everyone start with. If you want to fuck a girl and you're in fucking Grand Rapids, Michigan, go on Instagram, type in Grand Rapids, Michigan, see some dickhead hoes who have tagged themselves, and message them and say, Grand Rapids, question mark? And go, why? Just say, oh, I never see you around, where are you hiding? It's a good opener. That's the opener you can take, but the rest of it has to be you. You can't pretend to be anyone other than yourself. Impersonating someone else is not going to work in the long term. However, you got to be yourself. You got to be yourself in the right way. You can't just, you got to put things in the right angle. So I'm explaining why I do what I do, and you need to listen to it, understand why I'm doing what I do, and apply it to your own style. Don't copy me word for fucking word. She says, a good thing I'm strong, I'm not afraid. She goes, I'm just kidding, I'm not that bad to break hearts. Then what did I say? Then I asked her how old she was. I always ask how old they are. I don't know why. It's something they always seem to reply to. No matter what they say, whether it's 30 or fucking, and unless they're really young. If they're above 20, between the age of 20 and 30, if they're a teenager, I usually say, oh, you're young. I'm an old man. But if they're like whatever her age was, I don't think I'll screenshot this properly. I say, That's a good age. You're old enough to have fun, yet young enough to be smart. No, sorry, young enough to have fun, but old enough to be smart. I always say that. Girls like that line because it makes them sound like, well, yeah, I'm 23. I'm old enough to be smart, but young enough to have fun. You ain't smart, bitch. You dumb. But still, I say that. They like that shit. Then I say I'm a very old man. I'm 30. He goes, yes, I would like to stay forever at this age. Now, remember what I said earlier about 20 minutes ago in this video. We are always aiming for progression. This girl is now getting my attention. So far, this exchange has happened this about a minute and a half long. Because once again, with women, they get bored quick. If I don't reply to her quickly, if I leave her for a couple hours and then try and message her again, she's going to, she's forgot about me. She looked at my Instagram an hour and a half ago. She was a little bit intrigued. Now she's had 6 messages since from new guys, and she's forgotten all about me. So, progression. What am I aiming to do from the Instagram conversation? What's the progression? The progression is, because we're always giving our attention in exchange to progress up the ladder. I'm going to use my fucking whiteboard. Even though I only have a green marker you can barely see, I'm going to use it. We're progressing. We're starting here with all the other shit munchers. I don't know if you can see that. Here's where we want to be, at the top. Because with the shit munchers, there's lots of people. At the top, with their titties, there should be only one man. You. So you want to get higher up. As you get higher up, there's less and less shit munchers. Hope that makes sense. So on her Instagram, anyone can message her. There's loads and loads and loads of guys. So what we're aiming to do out of the Instagram conversation is get her WhatsApp or get her phone number. Now you're thinking, well, what's the difference between messaging her on Instagram and messaging her on her phone? The big difference is everyone can message her on Instagram, whereas only a few people can message her on her phone, because not everyone has her fucking phone number, you dumb cunt. So by getting her phone number, we are progressing up and slowly limiting it to the number one dude at the top, which is you. So when you move from Instagram to phone number, you cut it down from the entire world being able to message her down to about 100 people perhaps. That's a big jump. That is the aim of the Instagram conversation. Progression. From the phone number, we go on to the next stage, till eventually you end up with titties. That's how it works. So that's what we're trying to do in this conversation here, is get her phone number. So where were we? That's a good age. Old enough to be smart and young enough to have fun. I said I'm a very old man. I'm 30. Women like age. Women like you to be older than them. So do not be afraid to say your age. She goes, yes, I would like to stay forever at this age. Time to make a joke because I'm so funny. I said, I can make you immortal. Jesus is my friend. I'll WhatsApp him. That's what I said. She put loads of laughing faces. She goes, if he doesn't respond, I'll give you his Instagram because he likes all my posts. And I put, I bet he does because you're beautiful and he's a pervert. Tongue face. So that's the second compliment I've given her. So she already thinks I'm funny. She's had a couple compliments. She's scrolled through my Instagram page by now. She's talking to me. This is about 2 minutes in. 2 minutes. That's all I've spent 2 minutes of time on this girl. And what do? She goes, after I said, she's beautiful, she goes, well, thank you. Next thing I say, WhatsApp, question mark. Straight to the point. Hello, this is who I am. You see my Instagram. You're beautiful. Ha ha ha, I'm funny. Give me your number. We ain't fucking around. We ain't playing no 3 days of messaging. Can I have your number, please? Like some fucking pussy. 2 minutes. 2 minutes to talk. You've seen me. You're replying to me. You know what the big G is. Give me your number. If at this point she goes, oh, I prefer to talk on Instagram. You know what you do? I'll tell you what you do. And you're going to hear this a lot. This is a very important pimping term. I'm going to write this down on my board. In fact, I'm going to write on this piece of paper so you can understand how important it is. We're going to use this a lot. FDB. Which means, fuck that bitch. FDB. If she wants to give you bullshit, FDB. What you do, if she goes, I don't want to talk to you on WhatsApp, I'd rather talk to you on Instagram, you don't reply, you leave her ass on scene. Ignore her. FDB. I've shown you who I am, I've spoken to you, I've proved I'm fucking funny. If you're gonna give me your fucking phone number, I'll talk to someone else. FDB. Message a different girl. Because by not giving you her phone number, she's shit testing you. She's saying, yeah, I'll talk to you, but you don't deserve my number. And what you're doing by not replying is saying, I'll talk to someone else and fuck you. You can't say that to her, because if you say it, then it shows you're emotionally upset. And if you get upset, then she wins, because she's emotionally affected you. Men cannot be emotionally affected. Men are iron. Can't affect us. You just don't reply because you don't care. You won't give me your number? Okay, I don't care. Do not reply. And about 70% of the time, they'll still message you or say, oh, so you don't want to talk to me if you don't get my number or some shit. They'll come back at you, and then you can play the game again. Just say, well, anyone can message you on Instagram. I'm special, so I want to WhatsApp you. Just be clear with your intention. If she ain't going to give you the number, FDB. Because you're doing it, remember, when you're talking to girls like this, you're not messaging one girl at a time. You can say Bucharest or Grand Rapids or text Houston or whatever to 100 girls. You can go on Instagram right now and message 100 girls. So you're going to be doing loads of conversations at once. So you're only interested in the ones who are going to play ball. If they ain't going to play ball and give you their number, FDB. So, in this particular case, we all know what happened. We're pretending. We fucking G got PhD. WhatsApp, yep, smiley face. What's your number? I put some cherries on there because I'm a G. Bang. I blocked out the phone number so none of you motherfuckers are going to be thinking about messaging my hub. Bang. There's the number. Progression. We've moved from here to here. This can happen many, many different ways. I'll give you another example. There's another screenshot example. Because this is what I do. Listen. I have too many girls. But if I want some chicks, I go on Instagram. I may, because I've got quite a few followers. I've got about 30,000. I'll scroll through girls who have already liked my pictures because it's easier then. Because then I know they definitely want dick. Bing. Bucharest question mark. I'll message 10 girls. I'll get 5 WhatsApps. I'll fuck 2 girls. That's the average math. So any Monday morning I can wake up and go, you know what? I want 2 new pussies this week. Bucharest, copy and paste, boom, 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 boom. Da-da-da, WhatsApps, WhatsApp, da-da-da. Me and Tristan call it Paul Cicero. We call it Ciceroing. And me and Tristan, especially when our girlfriends are around, we say, oh, I've got to go Cicero. And we do that because I think it's in Goodfellas. I can't remember what message. I can't even remember what movie it is. It's one of the gangster movies. There's a guy called Paul Cicero. And he said he doesn't move very fast because Paulie doesn't have to move for no one. Because he used to sit there and people used to come and deal with him and then leave. So me and Tristan call it Ciceroing. So me and Tristan go, we're going to Cicero today. We'll go to a coffee shop at 3 o'clock. We'll have a date at 3:30, a date at 4:30, and a date at 5:30. And we'll bring the girl in at 3:30 and then go, oh yeah, I've got to go now. I'm going to go in a minute. I'll just pay the bill. Okay, nice to see you. Send her away. Next. I'll do 3 dates in a fucking day. Narrow down the one I want. And then that's the one I take to the club at the weekend. Bangs, game over. So you can get on that level if you get as professional as me. When you have a PhD, you literally just 10 questions on a Monday, Cicero on a Wednesday, fucking by Friday, game over. But that's just let you know where you're going to end up if you study hard enough. So, next bitch. I'll give you a different example. Bucharest, question mark. This girl tried to play a bit harder with the G. She tried to play harder with the fucking... I should walk around. I should let these bitches know. I should put on my Instagram profile, PhD, so they know not to get too fresh. Bucharest. Her reply was a lot less friendly than the last girl. Yes. Doesn't matter. Yes. Like I said, she probably read it. She probably has a fucking boyfriend. Or she's... Even if she hasn't got a boyfriend, there is no female on this planet who's truly single. This is something that's one of the unbreakable rules. Put unbreakable rule in flashing red across the top. Unbreakable rule. There is no hot, attractive woman on the planet who is completely single. They are always at least talking to someone. They're always at least messaging someone or still kind of talking to their ex or fucking their ex. There's no single woman. So making a woman like you is not about making them like you. It's about making them like you more than the other people they're already talking to. Keep this in mind. So the reason this girl gave me attitude, and the reason a lot of girls give you attitude, is because they're already fucking someone else or they're already talking to someone else. So they're thinking, well, if you're already full, you've been for dinner and you're full, someone goes, do you want dessert? Oh, I'm already full. So that dessert has to look good for you to want to take a bite from it. So you have to look good for them to be interested in you because they're already full. They're full already. All the women are walking around with full stomachs. You got to look fucking amazing for them to want to take a bite. Keep that shit in mind. So this bitch, I found out at a later date, does have a boyfriend. Fucked her anyway, but this is why she started off so fresh. Bucharest. Yes. Same thing. Why do I never see you? Where are you hiding? That's what I said. She said, I don't go out too much. I don't like the men here. I was living in other countries or between travels, so no time or wish to be popular here. This is Romania. Oh, right. Okay. Well, I'm going to give you another example. This bitch knows me. She goes, I just followed you because I saw you were very funny in an interview, and you have some funny things on Insta. What did I say about having your page on point? So we've been messaging for 30 seconds, and she's messaged me saying I had some funny things on Insta. I messaged her, she looked at my Instagram, and she saw something that made her laugh or something that intrigued her. That's why it's important. Your 5 or 6 photos are interesting, because that's your chance. If my photos were shit, I never would have got that message from her. Never would have come. It would have been game over right then and there. But she saw something she liked. So I said, where are you living now? Because she talked about how she didn't want to be in Bucharest. She goes, Bucharest for the moment. I said, good, it's the best city. I'm here also, which is important, so we can meet and take over the world. I say that because women, it's authoritarian. It's authoritarian. Hi, yeah, you barely know me, but me and you are going to take over the world. It makes them think, who the fuck's this dude? He thinks he can conquer the world? Who is this guy? What do you mean, to conquer the world? What? It's better for a woman. It doesn't matter what emotion you evoke, as long as you evoke something. Even if they're a bit like curious or a bit like, what? Angry can work if you don't push it too far. As long as they don't read it and think it's boring. Like I said, if they read it and they don't feel instantly compelled to reply, they won't reply. This is your only shot. So when you say like, we're going to take over the world, they're either going to be like, what do you mean take over the world? Or why take over the world? Or what? Like there's something in, they just want to reply. You've got to be careful with what you say. Haha, I was thinking you already took over the world without me. There's something left, question mark. And the reason she said that is to my Instagram page, so fucking G, with all these cars and shit. Once again, Instagram page. I said, there's a tiny, tiny bit that I need you for. There's one place I cannot go. And she said, what place? And I said, the girls' bathroom, smiley face. How old are you? Always ask them how old they are. They like that shit. Childish joke, she put, with a laughing face. But I didn't like that. That pissed me off a little bit. 22, you? 22 is probably a little bit too young to do the old enough to be smart, but you could probably get away with it. I just said, I'm an old man, 30. Now, when she said childish joke with the laughing face, that was the beginning of her trying to get a little bit fresh, and I could detect it. And that's why I didn't reply with old enough to be smart, young enough to have fun, because I thought, I've been pretty funny to this girl. I made some jokes, and I didn't like it. Now, to you, you're sitting there going, well, she just said childish joke. What's the problem? I have a PhD. I can detect instantly how a woman's thinking. So she looked, she thought I was interesting, da-da-da. And the main reason she's probably being this way is because she's insecure. She knows I have shitloads of chicks. She's seen my Instagram. She knows who the G is. And she's thinking, I got to give this guy a bit of shit because he thinks he can get any girl he wants. Da, da, da. I have this problem a lot. So then she tries to belittle me. Still a lot to learn and live for you. A real life for a man starts after 30. You'll see. So she's trying to tell me that I'm young and stupid. That's what she's trying to say. I replied, I know this. What's that? I ain't fucking around with you, ho. Tell me about man life after 30. You're a 22-year-old chick. What the fuck do you know about a man's life after 30? I know this. What's that? Because we are trying to progress